the Real Estate You podcast with Lettiann. Welcome back to Real Estate You with Lettiann, and today I have the pleasure of talking with Danny Clapp, real estate photographer right here in Kansas City. Welcome, Danny.
Hey, thank you. It's awesome to be on. I'm very excited.
We're so happy to have you here today, Danny. You and I are going to talk about the importance of real estate photography in relationship to when one is selling their home, the importance of photographs and them being done professionally. Just give me your opinion on that. I mean, just in general, because I'm sure we've all seen some nightmares. I mean, people post some nightmare photos just to be funny, but it's not really funny if you're the seller.
No, it's not. No, real estate, professional photos in real estate is absolutely one of the most important things, because everybody looks at the house online, and their first exposure to the house is the photographs. And they are comparing. Some people would tell you, oh, I can look past whatever photos they are, but they're not. They're comparing your house with other people's houses based on the photos. So it's absolutely 100% important to have great photos of your house.
Plus, we live in an HGTV world where everyone thinks everything is perfect, and it really isn't. And it's not that we manipulate the photographs, and we know that an iPhone they have a beautiful, wonderful cameras, but when it comes to lighting or toilet lids up or toilet paper rolls or just so many other things, especially lighting, I would think. It's imperative because, like you said, those persons are going to be looking at the house online and saying, oh, honey, should we go see that house or not? And they're like, it looks kind of drab and dull. Let's not even waste our time. So I think the photographs are the first invitation to say, come out and see me in person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people have their list of what they like and what they want, size of the living room, size of the kitchen, what the kitchen looks like, a bedroom. And they're comparing that with another house. And if you have dark, not very good pictures, they'll just click next. Let's move on.
Well, Danny, we've been using you for years for real estate photography. And I mean, you're very talented. You make it look so easy, but I know it's not. And I would imagine it's from years of trials and tribulations, playing with the lighting, using battery packs, lighting packs, and all of that. What's your biggest challenge as a real estate photographer?
Really, it's summed up in one word, and that's stuff. If people have too much clutter in their house, when I go in, I have to concentrate on trying to move out the clutter, take out the things. If their house is staged, ready to go, I just go in there and I concentrate on making the best pictures. And every house is different. And so even though I've been doing this for over 15 years, when I go into a house, I like to concentrate on the pictures, the lighting, and the more time I can concentrate on that, the better the photos will be. So the biggest challenge really is people's stuff. And I don't necessarily mean boxes or trash or things like that, but sometimes people, the knickknacks and maybe the wall decorations, things like that. That's really the biggest challenge. And I know it's cliche, but they say, less is more. But if you can have less stuff, you're going to have more house. And so the biggest challenge is just getting people's things out of the way so that we can showcase that house really well.
And that's the job of the real estate professional, in my opinion, to educate the seller before photographs. You don't want your photographer coming in and having to deal with a whole side. Now, you and I have moved things, right? We've moved a laundry basket for the shot, then we put the laundry basket back. But that's a minor thing. But when you're talking about stuff or too many prints on the wall or too many knickknacks, I feel that the direction should have been given from the real estate professional to here's what's going to sell. You're going to move, start throwing away, giving away, and keeping the items you're going to keep, but put them in the box, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it breaks my heart because about 90% of probably more of real estate agents I work with do great. But sometimes I go into a house and there's things I have to move, and that homeowners are so great. And they're like, well, if I would have known this, I would have moved it already for you. So absolutely, real estate agent is so key to getting the house ready.
It's a process and it's a strategy, and who you hire matters, right, Danny?
Oh, 110%. It does. And, we moved a few times in the last few years, and I would not do it at all without a real estate agent, because they are definitely worth it. Absolutely. So who you hire matters completely, because I could go on for 5-10 minutes about the different real estate agents out there, but I won't. But yeah, absolutely.
We'll save that for another episode, because even though we're all licensed, it doesn't mean we're all created equal and have this, anyway. But again, that's a whole nother. Well, we are all created equal. I take that back. But it's what we do with our business. And I always put myself as if I'm the seller or I'm the buyer. How would I want to be treated? I need direction, because, as you know, moving is very stressful. It's emotional. It's taxing on one's health, both physically and emotionally. So
yes, absolutely.
Having someone to guide you professionally and simply tell you what to do, sometimes that's all the seller really wants. Well, you didn't tell me. Well, I would have told them, but you didn't tell me to clear off everything from my kitchen countertops, which is, that's the first thing. You can have one thing on your kitchen countertops, because it's going to show in the photographs beautifully if you simply have your coffee maker and nothing else.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're right on. That's very key.
Strategy, for sure. Strategy matters. Danny, where did you get started with photography, and why did you fall into this field?
I have a lot of people ask me that, and it's a very interesting story. I did not. I was working another job, and I had a good friend of mine who was in this field, and he asked me one day, say, "Hey, we're looking for a good photographer. We got a lot of work. We're short-handed." And I said, "I'd love to, but I have this full-time job, and I have to support my family. Just can't do it." So a year passes by, the same thing. He's like, "Man, we still need, a good real estate person or photographer." And I told him, "Well, let me see what I can do." So make a long story short, I went and quit my full-time job, started 2 other part-time jobs, because to get your foot wet, it really has to be a part-time job. So basically I had 3 part-time jobs, and it quickly evolved to a full-time job and on from there. But the real reason I did it was better than the job I had. And I'll be honest with you, I did not go to college or even classes to take real estate photography. Now I did have a good amount of experience of digital photography, and I have used it a lot. But really, my best training for this job was hands-on, and that's what I did with him. And then quickly just kind of got my feet wet and just worked really hard to make pictures good. So, and I enjoy it.
And like I said, it shows. Your photographs are incredible, and our houses sell within 2 days because of your photographs. I'm certain that that's a part of it. So thank you for your talent and always being so willing to accommodate. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And for any other real estate professional or any other consumer out there who may be considering taking photos of their home, please consider Danny. His information is here on the screen for you. Reach out to Danny Clapp, which is realestatephotography.com. So it's Clapp, realestatephotography.com. Let me ask you, what's the craziest thing you've seen? And you probably have, when you go into photograph a house. For 15 years, something has had to happen that was a surprise to you.
I don't know if one instance really sticks out in my head. I do remember a hearing of a house that had a monkey living in it. The lady had a monkey in her house, and she had a pet monkey, and it was very interesting. But no, there's just, I think, just crazy setups that I see, that I'm just like, wow, why did they do it this way? Or a house that just goes on and on after, it's such a big house. So I don't know if it's one house stands out. I think it's just that every house is different. I never know what I step into when I get there. And sometimes you're just like, whoa, this is crazy. This is how big it is, or how different it is, and just things like that.
What's the biggest hurdle that you face as a real estate photographer?
Again, we mentioned before, but basically it's just people's things in the way. again, if they can clear out their things, it's so much better to go in there and shoot that house. But the biggest hurdle, again, is people just not being ready, and just things that need to be moved, need to be changed. Because even if they're there and they say, hey, I'm here, I'll move whatever you want, it still takes time for us to wait. I get out of my rhythm, to be honest with you, and I just don't take as good as photographs as I would if a house is, we step in and it's ready. So I think the biggest hurdle really is having that house completely ready, showcase ready, extra showcase ready. And then I think along with that, I want to add that people's furniture, a stager is worth just almost as much as a photographer, but people's furniture can sometimes get in the way. I know you love your furniture. I know it's probably the best, but sometimes you need to remove a desk or a elliptical machine, big elliptical machine or a bike in the middle of a master bedroom. It's not good photos. So if you can remove as much as possible while still have it, staged and not look empty, that's the hurdle right there that needs to be crossed, and just making it show ready.
Danny, you're always so passionate about what you do. Every time I see you at a home for a photo shoot, you're just as excited as you were the last one where we were. So what is it that you love most about real estate photography?
People often ask, and I think you did before, is like, oh, you like the houses you go into, right? You probably see all kinds of amazing homes, and I do, but that is not the reason I like real estate photography. The reason I like real estate photography really is people. The people I get to meet it's amazing. And even though I don't go there and chat with them, for 30 minutes and then get started with photos, we have a conversation. I think the amazing thing is to hear the stories of people that are transitioning in their lives. Many of them are very nervous, and I'm able to calm them and say, no, you have a great agent. Your house looks great. Everything's going to look amazing, and you're going to sell this quickly. But being to hear people's stories of how they're retiring and moving, to Colorado, and they have a house out in the woods, or, they're moving, the grandparents are moving closer to their kids to be with their grandkids. Just the stories and, the amazingness. This year I shot a house of a guy who his wife was in Europe somewhere, and he only saw her occasionally. Now he was moving to be with his wife, and he was a bicyclist. And just the stories and the people. I love it. I really do. That's why I like real estate photography, and that's why I can be passionate at each house, because I know that people are passionate about their house, and it's important to them. And I want what I do to be as important as they're selling their house, because I know it's important. So every house, no matter what, I work really hard to make the photos look good. And people think, oh, after 15 years, it's probably, you probably do in your sleep. Yes and no, but more, I just know it's important, and I work hard no matter what.
And it's a relationship business. So
yes.
It does matter. I think it shows. And I always say food made with love tastes better than some food that's simply slapped together because we have to eat. So it's almost, I think it's kind of the same parallel there with the whole real estate process, because it is a relationship business. In the photographs, with the sale, all of that. Do you do any other types of photography, Danny?
I do very little other photography for a couple of reasons. One, I don't really like any other photography as much as I do real estate photography. It's just not as enjoyable. Taking pictures of houses, you can set it and it's there. You don't have to worry about things changing. The other reason that I love real estate photography and I don't do other photography is that real estate is a 9-to-5 job Monday through Friday. And I have kids at home that I love being at home in the evenings, and I love being home on the weekends. And they know that I'll be there for them. And then the other reason that I really don't do other types of photography, a good friend of mine this year told me, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. He's like, you need to find your niche in life. whether that's, whatever it is, find your niche and work at it with all you have. And I believe my niche is real estate photography. I believe I can do a good job in real estate photography. So yes, I do headshots. Yes, I do portraits, do party photography, but not much. My main is real estate, and I believe it's my niche, and I can work at it really hard and make it good.
Danny, how has COVID impacted your business?
Well, it's been an interesting year. It really has. And it was a scary year at times. It definitely has caused us to slow down, caused us to be careful in what we do because we're going into other people's homes. But as far as the amount of work that I've had this year, it hasn't slowed down at all. It's actually, I think, sped up just a little bit, only because it spread the work out. Normally we have a really busy spring, then by summer it slowed a little bit, maybe a little uptick in fall. But this year we obviously had a delayed spring, and then we just been busy since late spring on. And so as far as work, I can't say it increased it, but the work has definitely increased from last year. So I've enjoyed it.
Definitely our heavy spring market, which was a zero spring market, I think has spread out, like you said, through summer and into fall. And now we're approaching winter, and it's still going strong.
Yes, it is.
It is indeed. Well, I'm talking with Danny Clapp today, real estate photographer. And Danny, I just want to thank you for being on the show. It's great seeing you on the big screen, and I look forward to seeing you at another photo shoot soon.
Lettiann, you are the most professional person I have ever met. And when you mentioned this podcast, I was so excited because you are always a joy to be around. Thank you for allowing me to be on this. It's been a joy.
So kind of you to say, Danny. And I just want to thank all of you for watching Real Estate U with Lettiann today. And if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lettiann and Associates Real Estate Services. And we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.